We're back. Masters Clash qualifier number 3, everybody. We got the Hardos against pepeMLady in the first round. And today we have in the round of 16 a best of 5. And yes, I know some of you immediately will be like, but Khaldor, what the hell? Qualifier number 1, qualifier number 2, didn't we have best of 3s in the early rounds of the tournament? And you are absolutely right. But there are now a couple less teams qualified or signed up for this qualifier. Again, open qualifier, everybody can play. And therefore, we are only playing best of 5 starting in the round of 16. We simply have a little bit more time. The tournament still runs 2 days. Games are being spread out, but now we can play best of 5s in the earlier rounds, which is of course kind of awesome, and that's why we are changing into a best of 5 format already early on here. Now this is qualifier number 3, and I already explained in the past a little bit of how this tournament format works. The Masters Clash is a big tournament. They hope that they can host an offline event in France. Obviously, it's all about Corona a bit, but since this event would be held in roughly 2 months, everybody hopes that by then travel restrictions within Europe a little bit easier to deal with, and so that they can host the offline event and that they don't have to hold the entire thing online. But pretty much if you want to qualify for this main event, you have 4 qualifiers that you can qualify through. All of those qualifiers are open. They run over 2 days, Saturdays and Sundays, and the teams that win one of these qualifiers, they qualify automatically. Everybody else, 2nd, 3rd, 4th place, and so on and so forth, they still get a couple of points, so it's not like they don't stand a chance anymore. All those points will be added up, and at the end of the 4 qualifiers, thanks to those points, there's going to be a point ranking, and the top 8 of that point ranking, they will play a last chance qualifier in which another 4 teams can qualify for the main event. Which pretty much just means that we have a couple of weeks where teams can do their best to qualify early, so they don't have to go through all the open qualifiers, that they don't have to participate in the last chance qualifier. And that's pretty much what's happening here. Now, pepeMLady is the Polish team that we've seen in Division 1 in pretty much every tournament. The guys have been doing fairly well. The Hardos, on the other hand, I mean, you see it here. Hardos, Bad Benny, Chris, Nick on his Hans account, and Yasu. There's some star power over on the blue team. And let's just face it, in the last 2 tournaments, they kind of sucked. Like, given the names that we have on that lineup and the experience, they did heavily underperform. In the first qualifier, Hardos was replaced by Max Passion because Hardos couldn't make it to the event, and they lost in the early rounds. I think they actually lost in the round of 16 already against Chili Mountain. And then in the second qualifier, they made it to the semi-final where they got absolutely obliterated without even taking a single map, and then barely, well, they managed to win the third place decider, so they came in 3rd. Which you can argue is not really the worst result, but at the same time, if you're looking at the team and how many good players are over there, that's still a pretty hard underperform, especially considering how they got crushed in the semis. But now, of course, this is a 3rd attempt to qualify directly, and we're seeing them with Chromie, Urel, Garrosh. Our first map today is Battlefield of Eternity, and on the other side, Diablo and Hanzo. Now, for both of these teams, this is the first round today. Still, there's a huge favorite role that the Hardos are playing in this one. The interesting part is that it's actually possible, if the Hardos win this, that they go up against Team Power Spike in the next round. A team that they faced already off against in the last tournament in one of the earlier rounds. Team Power Spike didn't really succeed there either. But there's a couple of really nice rivalries already going on in this tournament. So there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about for sure. When it comes to the ban patterns, Nick's Kira gets now banned out. Is one of the heroes that he has been playing a lot. And, well, most of the teams don't really want to go up against this. We got Lucio also banned. Ever since the patch came in, we see him in the ban side a bit more. Medivh doesn't really surprise anybody that he gets banned once again. And, of course, Uther is also locked away. But it puts us into a spot where we have pepeMLady starting things up with the next 2 picks, and they are also the ones that chose the map here. And also a quick reminder again, this is a best of 5 series, so it's all about who wins 3 matches first. We get the Crybaby, Anduin, always nice when you go up against Garrosh. If the big bad red boy on the left side throws someone into the backline, Anduin can come in with the Leap of Faith, pull him out again. We got Thrall, we got Ana, a bit of a nano boost on Chromie, for example. And what do we get for Nick? Wouldn't mind seeing a Carrigan again. I don't think it's going to happen here. He played it before in Battlefield of Eternity, but it's not the priority map for her. But yeah, Nick together today on Jimmy. Makes a little bit more sense. But again, His carrying play is always fun to watch, so obviously we're always hoping for that to happen. That leaves us with the last pick over here, Maram. So the lineup changed also a bit on the side of pepeMLady. Some of the names will definitely ring a bell, but Maram, for example, or Moram, if that's not a Smurf account, then he's definitely a newer addition to the team. So let's see what they lock in as the last pick as we're heading into game number 1, and it is Li Ming. Alright, Li Ming and Hanzo for the damage. Guys, we're ready. Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity, the 3rd qualifier for the Masters Clash. The Hardos going up against pepeMLady. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1, the Hardos against pepeMLady in today's best of 5. Bad Benny on Garrosh, locking in the body check right away. Chris on Urel on the side lane, as so often. We got Hardos on Chromie. Hans, aka Nick, on Reyna, and Yazu on Anna. The Will Q on Diablo for the red team. The Polish lineup with Akunis on Thrall, going into the Trolling Thunder. Trolling around at the top lane, and Moram with Li Ming as Stoyolux in Hanzo, and Dyla with Anduin. Alright, let's go. Yeah, so we have once again the ace in the hole as a level 1 talent. Now, as I explained, this is one of the things that indicates very quickly that you're looking more so at team fight than at the mortar damage. Exterminator for a long time was the talent of choice, especially on this map, but right now it's more about, hey, let's try to take the opponent down and win the fight instead, and take this afterwards. So for now, what else do we get? We have the Trolling Thunder, as mentioned. We got the Force Armor here, and for Urel top side, she's in the one-on-one against Thrall as Dyla goes down. Bad Benny stepping forward and creating the kill opportunity, and the Nick Carter of the red team gets dropped right away. Nicely done. Now, Bad Benny nearly paid for it with his own life, but he was able to make it out. Now another kill set up as they're trying to make the play for Will Q, and that's 2 kills to 0. An early opening kill for the Hardos. They get 2 kills to 0. Nicely done. By the way, one of the things that also pops up a little bit whenever we're talking about the tournament here, the first qualifier was won by Wash the Heat, which we acknowledged right from the get-go was a pretty shitty name. It was pretty much a couple of players from the old Washed Up and Feel the Heat banding together and thinking it's a great idea to just combine the 2 names, and didn't really work out that way. But they got picked up by 30K, which you might recognize as one of the orcs that played in the CCL. I mean, it's not really an orc, it's the Michael Udall team, but they picked up the team. So if you're seeing at any point 30K in one of the participant lists for the main event, just be reminded this is actually the old Wash the Heat who qualified through the first tournament qualifier directly. The Hardos, obviously, they want to get there. They don't want to go through the last chance qualifier. They want to make it here today, and they are off to a good start. They're taking the wall down at the bottom of the map. They already were able to drop 2 of the opponent's heroes. And yeah, that's a pretty solid setup with another potential kill against the Will Q, and they get him. Bad Benny goes down. On the other hand, the first kill for pepeMLady. They lose Diablo, but they are able to get the counter kill against Garrosh. So at least nicely done on that end. But of course the wall has been lost, and that's a problem. Now Chris is again playing at the top side. Apparently there's always a little bit of confusion whenever Chris plays on the side lane. For some reason, some people seem to believe that he is only a DPS player. But Chris has been playing side lane for a long time, for multiple teams actually. And yeah, it's always a bit weird to see that. The team obviously is stacked with a lot of players that can shift into different roles. I mean, Nick has played as a tank in the past, a side lane. Now we have Hazu in a similar position. We has also moved into the side lane a couple of times. We've seen him on Rexa, for example, in particular. But yeah, time will tell. I mean, the times of HTC are over, so of course the level of play has decreased, considering that teams are not practicing 8 to 10 hours a day anymore, including free practice afterwards. But there's still a lot of experience that the boys in blue have that they can use here, especially when it comes to rotational play. The game itself obviously changed a lot too, since we've seen 2 years of patches since then. But now with 4 kills to 1, the Hardos looking to push for the fort at the bottom of the map. And they're also looking at a very solid lead, 7 hit points, and wow! Dyla makes it out. And when barely walking away, there could have been another kill for the Hardos, but at least in this case, they were not able to lock in the final shot. They're doing fantastic at that bot lane, though. They have nearly taken out the entire fort. They're, of course, also working on the objective, and thanks to the early level 7 talent, they have another advantage over pepeMLady that they can now use to lock in the first Immortal. And then potentially take the top fort as well. I mean, things are looking really, really good for them. Another great setup with the Sleeping Dart as they're trying to make the play for Will Q again. Diablo is in trouble. In comes Akunis on Thrall, but Will Q goes down. Getting absolutely manhandled there by the opposition. Doesn't stand a chance in that particular situation, so very unfortunate. And it is a bit of an opening. Honestly, I like that the Hardos are coming in swinging because they disappointed in qualifier number 3. At least I expected them to do way better. I wasn't necessarily sitting there saying like, hey, they're going to win the tournament 100%, but I really expected them to at least put up a fight in the semifinals, and they didn't. Bit of an attack here all the way up at the board. Gotta be careful. Can't move back there. Don't beast it, baby. There's some drama always about that. But let's go. Level 10 is in for Chromio, of course. It can help them also with the zone control a bit here, if she can move forward. There's the vision already granted. Need to be careful of Diablo, but at the same time, the bottom fort has now fallen. And Urel is pushing Thrall back. Here comes also Calamity now. The level 7 talents are finally ready for pepeMLady, but you can already tell that the top fort is in trouble. And they are not gonna save this one. Man, this is a bit of a speed run that we are watching here. Fort goes down. They're trying to make the play here for Garrosh. Bad Benny low. Can they connect the damage? Doesn't seem like it. Instead, we have Will Q pushed out again, and there it is. Another kill. Urel is here, trying to make the play for Hanzo just as Akunis comes in. Anduin is down too. It is a beating, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, oh boy. They are crushing them. At that point, pepeMLady, they tripped and fell over, and the Hardos are there to just start kicking them as they're on the ground. Guys, we're 6 minutes in and we're seeing a play for keep. This is a total speedrun that we're looking at right now. This is insane. 7 kills, 2-1, and the keep down to 50% HP after 6 minutes. They're trying to make the play for Diablo again. Bad Benny, he's alive. Unbelievable. He survives again. Will Q is on the run. You can run, but you can't hide. Keep can't even run, so it just takes the brunt force of the attack, and this is just not looking good. 6.5 minutes in, even if you have to YOLO for this thing, it's totally worth it. We have 20,000 damage for Reyna, 17,000 for Hanzo, and holy hell. Honestly, shit like that isn't legal in a lot of countries. I mean, this is just a total murder that we're seeing here. Someone needs to call the care police because this is getting out of hand. Here goes Diablo once again. He died 6 times already, gets bullied at the front line like there's no tomorrow. And if this continues, then there's not going to be a tomorrow for pepeMLady. I mean, they are 2 levels behind. The level 10 abilities, of course, give the Hardos a mad advantage in these fights that they are ruthlessly executing and abusing. But boy, keep before the 7-minute mark. What the hell? Absolutely crazy. So now we have 26 stacks for the behemoth armor on Jimmy. And yeah, it is brutal. This is hard to watch. I mean, again, if you have younger siblings in the same room, then do yourself a favor and escort them out first, because they might have nightmares when they see that beat down. It's like, if kids, like, I take no responsibility, everybody here. If you have younger siblings and they all of a sudden start crying and have nightmares, that is your problem. They might need some professional help after that, but that is not something that I can offer here. I warned you. This is tough. Level 10 is finally in. Maybe now a bit of a play with the light bomb here as Dibbles makes an approach. But either way, this is going to be really tricky. Because now the halftime show has already been won by the blue team. They have a camp pushing through the bot lane. And red team can only go YOLO. I mean, go hard or go home. That's pretty much all that's left to do for them. There's the arrow into the apocalypse. Nicely done. And that's a kill. They put everything on that kill, and they got it. Jimmy is down. Will Q survives in this particular play. And they are looking a little bit better now. Finally, now that they can play with the level 10 abilities, they have a bit of a chance in that fight. But holy hell. Down at the bottom of the map, yeah, also good focus onto that shaman camp. Nice, they got a little bit lucky there, good for them. It seems like the objective is still going to be taken by the Hardos on the other hand. Yeah, they're coming in and they take it. Easy peasy. 8 kills to 2. Still trying to make a little bit of a play. Will Q flipping gouge around a bit for a change, but it's not enough. And of course, that shield is still pretty nice. That's 50%, a little more than that even. It's a chance to go for the bottom keep as the red team is retreating. And level 13 is getting kind of close. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Team! Will Q, not looking good for him. Gets taunted, tries to get away, pushes out, gets pushed back. Bam! Double kill! Straight to the face. Diablo is down, and the hipster Boy is also eliminated. So, Hanzo dead. Dibbles is back, but without any hit points, and the bot lane is a problem, to say the least. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Bam. One down after another. 10 kills to 2. And this might even be game. Yeah, if they hurry up, they can even hit this one before the double digits are being hit. Oh, the arrow. The APOC. Nice. Can they get the kill? No, damage didn't connect here from the APOC on Nick. But they're trying to turn it. And the Immortal is still starting to take down the core. Yasuo is nearly dead, but he survives a little bit longer. And they take Thrall out. This is bad news, everybody. The core is about to go down. This isn't looking pretty at all. This is a 10-minute game on Battlefield of Eternity as the Hardos lock in the first victory in the best of 5 here at the Master / Qualifier number 3. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. That was a fast one, 10 minutes. Maybe someone told the Hardos, listen boys, this is a best of 5 today, and we gotta hurry up a little bit. Maybe one of the players didn't have dinner yet and needs to be a little bit quicker about this, but boy, they smashed there. They underperformed in the last qualifier, there's no denying it, but at the same time, they at least open up in the third qualifier with a bit of a bang and start to take an early win against pepeMLady. Now, of course, the question is, can they repeat that? If there's a bit of momentum going into this match, then they might even be able to get the 2-0, 3-0 here. Big question is, of course, can they finally qualify directly? I mean, with this star-studded setup that the Hardos have, people expected them to, at least in the first qualifier, go incredibly far. They didn't. People expected them to qualify qualify number 2. They didn't. And now they're in the third qualifier and must ask themselves, like, guys, what's going on here? How do we play this out? And going up against pepeMLady, who also have quite a bit of experience, but obviously nowhere near what the Hardos have. They opened up with a 10-minute game of Battlefield of Eternity, which is always kind of nice. So good for them. But either way, we got Chromie banned out. Jojo gets banned because, first of all, the Will Q loves to play Johanna, but also she fits way more the playstyle that you normally see on Tomb of the Spider Queen, considering that over here wave clear is king as usual. So you want to have that early rotation with Jojo between the middle and the top and use the Condemned to take the minion waves down and collect the gems. We got the early Cassia pick right away. Not really a fan of that skin, by the way. I can't really help myself. It just looks weird. And I can't even put my finger on it. Why? It just looks a little bit weird. And now that I'm saying it, I understand that you guys actually didn't even see that because we have our beautiful screen over here. But yeah, it's the Greek skin for her. And it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. Because technically the entire thing around it, you know, the lightning is kind of cool. But every single time I see it, I'm like, meh, not really. Either way, we got currently Uther doing his thing, so we got an early Uther pick. We got Raxa over here, so this is actually one of those players where Hazo could be in the side lane. I mentioned on the last map that Hazo has been playing a lot of side lane with Raxa in particular, so there's a chance. Mei is in, and who else are we gonna get? Anna! Alright, Tyler for Anna. There we have it. And what do we get for Bad Benny and his boys? First of all, we go into bans. But we got Cassia together with Anna. We got Mei already in, so there's a bit more survivability. Yasuo and Uther. With Uther, there's always the chance that you're going to see a double support setup, but so far Yasuo has locked it in. They can always swap that around later, but time will tell. What else are we going to get? Ban on Leo. Alright, so Leora gets banned out. Obviously fantastic for the bot lane too. Might also be that they're trying to lock in some other heroes where the drain would be a bit of a problem. I mean, you can talk about, you know, Deathwing, whatever you want. Kerrigan gets banned. Maybe this time Nick is going to go for his Kira, now that Kira has opened, but his Kerrigan gets eliminated. This is kind of sad. I mean, again, I want to see his Kira once more. And if you already have stun setups on the other side with heroes like Uther and Rexa's Misha, then Kerrigan can follow up on those easily. But let's see. What are the next few picks here? I mean, we need still a main tank for Bad Benny, unless he swaps it around a bit. And yeah, that is an Uberak. He loves to play the Beetle and he does it again. And Nick is playing Jimmy, unless he swaps it over to Chris later. So we got the Nubarak execution again, where you're trying to follow up with quick damage. Wave clear, not really all that great for them right now. So whatever Chris locks in for the Hardos has to have a bit more AoE damage. I mean, it's not like you have nothing, but less than you would usually see here. I guess the same can be said to an extent for pepeMLady, so let's see what they lock in. Sonya and Gul'dan, now we're talking. Sonya for the bot lane. It's actually kind of interesting that she was absent from the last match, or the last map, and now we have Moram on Gul'dan as he is locking in the wave clear for them. Okay, that leaves us with the last pick, and we got the Hardos with Maiev. Oh boy, they're really going for the team fight, aren't they? Who needs wave clear if you just drop the opponent's team like they're minions? Tomb of the Spider Queen, game number 2, let's go. The Hardos with the lead in the best of 5 series here at the 3rd Masters Clash qualifier. Let's see if they can successfully take down pepeMLady again on map number 2. Game number 2, the Hardos against pepeMLady. Yeah, let's check this out and have a bit of a look at it. On the left side, we got Bad Benny on Nubarak. We have Yasu on Uther, Hardos on Rexa, Hans on Maiev, and Chris is playing Reyna. On the right side of the map, the middle queue with Mei, where Stojo is playing Cassia. We got Dyla on Ana, Akunis on Sonya, and Moram is playing Gul'dan in this one. Okay, so we're up for game number 2, and of course, if you're pepeMLady, then first of all, you need to recover from the ass kicking that you just received, but you also want to show that you're not that much of a pushover team. Interestingly enough, this time we got the Exterminator locked in, so I guess that's answering the question a bit, where does the damage against the minions come from? It's kind of funny if you think about it, that they actually lock in Exterminator now here on the map. I mean, again, still useful, but on Battlefield of Eternity they didn't. Of course, the strategy worked still very, very well, since BOE is such a team fight-oriented map. They want the extra damage, and they did very well going for it. Now, Hardos is playing Rexa, as expected, after we saw the pick coming in. And what else are we going to get? Chris up at the top, down at the bottom of the map. Actually in the middle, a little bit of a fight, and this could be the first kill. Will Q slides out, they still want him. But they can't get him. Dyla is there and is helping out right away. At the bottom of the map, Kunis is doing a 1v2 as Misha is helping out Hardos the entire time here. Of course, we see Cassia trying to stack on the level 1, already having 11 stacks together. And Nubarak with the Beetle set up for his level 1 talent. Smash build, Slam build for Sonya, and the Echoed Corruption for Gul'dan. Yeah, the camp is about to be taken on the right side, but as mentioned, Team pepeMLady, they gotta step it up a little bit. You don't want to go out in a sea of flames, and the Hardos, they open game number 1 with a massive, massive bang. Should also give them a huge boost for confidence here, of course. Now, we'll see what else they can do here. It was kind of surprising to see that the Hardos were struggling just a lot over the last 2 weekends and are still nowhere near to be qualified. So it's a bit surprising. Of course, they want to lock this in this time. There's another team, by the way, that is in a very similar situation, and that's, of course, the Donuts. The Donuts made it into the semi-final twice, and then they lost... sorry, they made it into the grand final twice. Yeah, even worse. And then they lost both of the grand finals. So when it comes to the points for the last chance qualifier, they are massively ahead of everyone else, but they don't want to go through that tournament. They want to qualify directly. And the question is, can they once again qualify for the grand final, and can they this time take the victory? So Lauber's team is going to be very eager to end it here and make sure that they take one of the qualification spots, but time will tell. So either way, for now we got 0 kills. We have a bit of a push through the middle of the map on the other hand, and that's for the Hardos. A pretty good opening once again. Nick! Oh my god, 27 hit points! Nearly fell, and instead Chris might be the one to die. And they're still trying to turn it, and Bad Benny with a very nice stun that helps Nick to survive a little bit longer, but can he make it out? And yes, he can. Nice! But that was a good one. So first of all, the middle of the map opened up wide. That's a big win for the Hardos now. And that they didn't lose a hero in the process is of course another huge victory for them. At the same time, pepeMLady was able to turn in a few of their gems. And objective will reign supreme here. So let's see if they can maybe get the entire thing. Yeah, shielding will queue so that he can take... honestly, that's nearly a full turn-in. They are 6 short of getting turn-in number 1. And we haven't really seen the boys in blue turn anything in. But Benny's the first one to deliver a few of the gems. So Sonya is now moving down at the bottom. They're trying to go for Chris. Chris is a little bit far out here, and that's the kill. Kill number 1. pepeMLady coming in with the first kill. Nicely done. Definitely a bit of a stronger opening for them here. Disregarding the wall that has fallen in the mid lane for a second. But I'm sure that they can return the favor if they're just able to follow up with a turn-in now. The kill was already a good one. Get the early level 7, get the web weavers down, and then maybe try and build up that momentum. That's something they could try and do here. So we'll see. Already Wilcure is attempting to zone for the team. Sonya has to be careful at the bottom. Akudis doesn't have too many gems, so if he dies, it's not the end of the world. But of course, you don't want to go down here. It doesn't really look too good for him, though. This is in a bit of trouble. Spin to win out. There's the stun. And the Wilcure with a save. Even Nick jumping in on my F was not enough to get the last hit in. Nice. Level 7 talents now on both sides. We got 25 stacks for Cassia's level 1. So she's doing a fair job there. We're 4 minutes into the game. Down here, Wilcue is a bit alone, but gets some assists from Dyla as those those heal darts are coming through. They still need to turn in another 3 though. So Storio would be enough. Moram could also turn in. Sonya, of course, at the bottom of the map is in a similar position where her turn in would complete it and give them the first web weaver. But at least now the Hardos are fighting back, and they are also very, very close to get that turn in. Another 4 gems on their side, and they get the first wave. And there comes the kill against Gul'dan. Nicely set up. And that might just be enough to give them the upper hand, and indeed it does. The blue web weavers are going to be descending in another second. That's a really, really nice opening now for them. It could have been the other way around, again, with the early kill and them turning this many gems in, despite the fact that they lost structures in the middle wall. pepeMLady could have been turning this around with the first wave, but now they have to face the music here. And the Hardos are, of course, hoping for an early level 10 that they can use to maybe even get a double turn in. They still have not enough gems to make that a reality, but if they can farm a little bit harder, maybe get a few kills with this too, there's an opportunity to potentially build towards that goal. And they're going for the kill in the back. Ana is in trouble, but they're setting it up, and now all of a sudden Maiev is in a world of pain. There's the kill. Nice. That's a beautiful step towards the successful defense against the web weavers. Well done. 36 stacks for Cassia. We got Uther with his level 1 nearly completed, but this defense should look really, really good right now. So, yep, off they go. At the top, Gul'dan has done his thing against the web weavers. Now, the Hardos, they have the early level 10. Not really that big of a lead, but yeah, actually they get it at the same time now. That kill definitely helped a lot. Get the avalanche in, and do we get anything crazy? It doesn't really seem that way. We have the Divine Shield, as you would expect. Of course, there's a cocoon for Nubarak. And it's time to try and get that turn in for the red team. With Yasuo already interrupting once, Maiev coming in, Misha is trying to sniff this out. They're not going to get it down here. That's just not happening. If they can get another kill, that's a different story. But here comes the Nubarak diving into the back. Nick already a bit low this Maiev and had to jump out. Got the heals from Uther. There's the ball spinning. Cocoon is out. Big setup with the avalanche. And they nearly get Chris. Chris is insanely low. Chris might still die. Bit of a deep dive that we've seen from the other side. And they even set up the Horrify, but they don't get Chris. He actually was pushed back to safety, so that was kind of neat for them. They've been using that aura the entire time during the team fight, so that's also a bit of a win. But now maybe the chance to finally, they turned in, to finally take a couple of those structures down. This is a way better game. So pepeMLady definitely recovering nicely from the first game. Now the problem is that Stoyo is going to be attacked very soon here. Yeah, he's trying to tap. Does what he can, but he goes down. That's a big invade by the Hardos, and they, of course, are able to take the fort at... are they able to take the fort at the bot lane? Maybe not, but they took the web weavers out. So this is a bit of a weird situation, because the red team kind of wants to do damage with this. And instead, they are locked into the bot lane with a few of their heroes to try and defend against the Siege Giant push. So that didn't really work all that well for them. Gotta do at least some damage here. I mean, yeah, taking the gate down is great, but at least the towers have to fall. In an ideal world, you want to take a keep down. Sorry, a fort down. But if you can't do that, then at least open the towers up. And so far, they haven't really done that either. So, limited value out of the first wave. Slight lead in experience, good for them. But nothing to write home about. So now we got level 12 versus level 12. We got 18 stacks also for Rexa. He's of course working on the extra armor for himself and for Misha. But you can tell that pepeMLady wants to bring this back. Wilq has 32 gems though. They need to keep him alive. They really need to keep him alive. And talking about Wilq, okay, he skates out. Uh-oh, Akunis is in a similar spot. Only one, and that's 30 gems down the drain. Oh, that one hurt. That one really, really hurt. I mean, Nick was nearly trying to make a play for Wilq as well, but 30 gems gone. Oh, that is brutal. Now, of course, there's a second turn-in opportunity for the Hardos. And yeah, there are a bunch of Hardoses here, aren't they? Maiev is already at the bottom of the map as Nick decides that it's time to take the fort down. But yeah, it is kind of rough. Alright, red team is trying to do their best to somehow stop the bleeding here. But the blue web weavers are now descending. We have 21,000 damage for Cassia, top damage in the game now. Not by a big margin or anything, but again, it's there. And now you gotta stop this. Bottom fort has just fallen. Just went down. Sonya couldn't move out far enough because she was always afraid that there's a bit of a gank set up against her somewhere. Which was, by the way, the case. That Benny is just sitting on the sides here all the time, hoping for a stun connect that they can use. Getting the stuns out, slowing that rotation a little bit as they're trying to make a play for Maiev. Can they get the kill? The cage is out. Divine Shield is in. Nick with a tether. Gul'dan gets boosted. And Akunis has to slowly retreat with the rest of the team. 13 talents ready for both sides. The Anubarak engage as they're trying to turn it. That Benny is a bit low, but Gul'dan is dead. At least they can take the cockroach down to... And Akunis is on the run, but he's not going to make it either, is he now? 30 hit points. Yeah, no. Misha is making the impossible possible and gets the auto connect. And that is the push through the mid lane now that they have to be afraid of with a Hyperion support as the R button gets hammered by Reyna. And I don't know what to tell you, but that's keep number one. Keep number one is going to be down here. Misha dies for good cause, I might add. And can they take the keep? Hello? They could defend this now. Okay, fair enough. I guess Nick is the one who's trying to do the damage. That's not enough, my friend. It's close, but that's still not enough. And as long as that keep stands, there's no catapults. They retreated a little bit too early. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be too happy about this. They're going to try and get close enough so that they can finish it. And there comes Nick. Okay, this is the end of it. Yeah, Nick is going to end the keep in the middle. There we go. That would have been a little bit frustrating. Can you imagine if they would have had to retreat and lane control would have been taken again by pepeMLady and that keep still stands? Oh, damn. That would have been annoying. Talking about Nick, is sitting at 32,000 damage, so he has also overtaken Cassia in his damage output. She has 27,000 damage to her name. And another engage. Epic Enter has now been taken as the level 16 talent for Anubarak, so as usual. I mean, again, it's still the best talent over here. We've seen like 1 or 2 debilitations, once on the NA side with, honestly, what was it? Caterpillar has taken it on the NA side a little bit. And in Europe, we had one the other day that took debilitation too, but it's always Epic Enter that is just the better talent here. Because it lets you epically enter the opponent's backline and stun all of them. And they're going for exactly those kind of plays right now. With the Anubarak just making one engage after another possible. Nick following up with a tether. The kill. Ana is down. Is this the end? Is this the 2-0? They're trying to go for the core here. Attack is in. Akunis, he's low, but no, he goes down too. Nick just doesn't show any mercy whatsoever over here. They make the play. There's the kill against Mei. She's down too, and the core is wide open, ladies and gentlemen. Wide open. The kills are coming in. Only 2 defenders. Cassian Gul'dan. Scratch Gul'dan. He's dead too. Store is the last one. He's gonna fall as well. 5-man team wipe, baby. And that is game. As we have the Hardos pummeling pepeMLady in the late game in game number 2 of this best of 5 series at the 3rd Masters Clash qualifier. We are headed straight into game number 3 of this best of 5. Okay, Infernal Shrines, game number 3. Yeah, the Hardos. At least in the early stages of the tournament, they're doing really well now. You can really tell that they are a bit more decisive here today. Honestly, it's a little bit of a weird story to tell, because if you compare the early round matches that they played on the second qualifier, it was a similarly strong performance of what they're showcasing right now against pepeMLady. But yeah, it's kind of wild. I really want to see how they perform once that they reach, let's say, the semifinals again, because I was a bit shocked last week. I was really shocked. When they played the semifinal and they got absolutely murdered, I just looked at this and was like, what is happening here? I mean, not only did they lose without taking a map, they got murdered in this one. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, anyways, so Nubara gets even banned this time. The engages are just a bit too annoying. We also got Uther right away. We have Medivh that gets banned out. And Chromie gets eliminated. Infernal Shrines are our map, so Sonya is definitely going to make a bit of an appearance over here. Tychus, first of all. I mean, it's Odin that you really want, because any kind of transformation on this map is usually strong. That's why we also saw in the past that Extrasa sometimes pop up over here, since the Dragon Queen is pretty good. And yeah, let's see what they can do with Odin as the game continues. But of course, when we're looking over to the Hardos, that's the team that has been doing the best so far. Yeah, again, all former HGC players with the exception of Yasuo. Nobody that plays on the side of pepeMLady has played HGC. Then again, to be fair, pepeMLady played in a lot of tournaments. They played in Heroes Lounge. So they are a team that has experience in competitive play. But it's not quite the same thing as having played on multiple offline events, played at the highest level of the game when HGC was around, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, there's that. Brightwing gets also picked. Ooh, mistakes are made. Not the fruit fly. Not the fruit fly. Now, let's see what they can do with this. Will Q picks his ETC, which is obviously something that he played a lot in the past too, but it's also a bit of a squishy one, so depending on what else they pick at the front line, could be a problem if he doesn't have any additional support there. They need someone that can help to keep that bad boy alive, or it's going to be minced meat. ETC is going to be invited to the barbecue. Leo gets banned. Okay, well, they got their Sonya, so they want to go up against Leo at the top side. What do you pick together with that ETC? Blaze might be the pick for them. I mean, you can go triple frontline with the lineup that they have here. Pick some heroes that got a bit of extra damage. They don't want to go up against Hazu's hammer. Don't give the Germans the Panzer. No tanks for the Germans. That never ends well. It always goes wrong. It's always the same thing. Guys, it's the same story. So yeah, don't do it. And Hazu has shown in the past that he is a particularly strong tank driver. So on this map, you don't want to give him the Sergeant. So easy peasy ban on that. I gotta admit, I nearly forgot about that, alright? So that could have been a problem. But now we got Yasuo on Oriel. Okay, and Junkrat. Yeah, Oriel is in the game. She's ready to whip the opponent into shape. So we'll see that. And, well, that's the last 2 picks now for pepeMLady. Gotta turn it around here. If not, then you're out of the tournament in the round of 16. Not quite what you want to happen. Malthael gets picked. And Kel'Thas. That's a bit of a squishy lineup. Salami Man is in the game. Ashalanore. Salami. But that is a squishy lineup. Can be strong, but ETC is not gonna have an easy time, so we'll see. Alright, either way, what is Nick gonna take? Is this gonna be the game where we see his Kerrigan, or do they actually lock in a proper main tank? Because right now they don't have one. They are playing it with D.Va and a Sonya at the front. And Maiev, who needs a main tank when you have Bad Benny on Sonya with a bit of Oriel support? Guys, we're ready. game number 3. Let's make it happen. 3rd game in this Masters Clash qualifier in this best of 5 series. Let's check it out. The Hardos with a 2-0 lead against pepeMLady. On the left side, Bad Benny on Sonya. We got Yasu on Oriel, Chris on Diva, and Nick on Myf again with Hardos on Junkrat. Yeah, on the right side of the map, the Will Q with ETC. We got Mora on Tychus, Hakunis on Malthael, Dyla on Brightwing, and Stojo is playing Kelthas. Yep, he likes his pizza with salami. Rumor has it that he's also a huge pineapple fan. Even though you wouldn't mix that with salami, but with ham instead, as the real pizza connoisseur obviously knows. But for now, let's see what they can pull off here. That fucking Chihuahua is already barking around. As also... Oh, there's the kill! ETC is down. As the Chihuahua mount is barking, I mean, that's not really a dog. Chihuahuas are just rats in disguise. They are rats that you can pet. That's pretty much what a Chihuahua is. A real dog starts at knee height. Everything that's lower than that is not a dog. That's a rat in disguise. It's a pocket rat. That's all that is. So, yeah. Dyla at the top, talking about rats, is playing the fruit fly. And the fruit fly is also down, so another pest gets eliminated. Trashwing gets eliminated. Here we go. Yeah, so with Brightwing down and also the early kill against ETC, I mean, I gotta say, this is not really the opening you want for game 3 if you're trying to slowly bring the game around. So they are in some trouble, especially since this could follow up with another kill. Akunis and Malthael has to be careful, but the wall is already falling. I mean, the first tower is about to be eliminated. Will Q is helping out as much as he can, and you can already hear the choo-choo as the paint train is coming. And it's only headed one direction so far. It's headed straight for the red team. So, nice, good slide, but where's the follow-up? Nobody in range, so it only counts if there's actually some follow-up here. So instead, Wilkie moving in, but he gets healed. Creates an opportunity as Malthael loses the 1v1 against Chris at the top and goes down. So, and against Bad Benny actually. Yeah, Benny, the pain train, came in and got the kill on the solo lane, so that's not really a good sign for game 3. I mean, this is the 3rd one. The 3rd kill already as is. That makes things even worse. Down at the bottom of the map, let's go. What do we get here? Hazu and Yasu making their plays. Fruit Fly now with the magic spit, as if that thing wasn't disgusting enough already. Now it's also spitting everywhere. Like, ugh. Yeah. The bigger they are is in. Will Q gets tethered, but yeah, they don't have a follow-up yet. Yasu was looking for the whip angle, couldn't find it. And, well, what else are we gonna get? Maybe a setup over here? No. Ooh, nice! Whip straight into the tower. Good stun. Yeah, Yasu, you can tell. I mean, he is really practiced at that. That guy has a sex dungeon in his house for sure. I mean, seriously. If you handle a whip that well, the only 2 explanations is you are the Indiana Jones in disguise, or you have a private sex dungeon where you're practicing on a daily basis. And knowing Yasu, it can only be one of the 2. But either way, now that we have Oriel in here, level 10 could also be quite fun. I mean, normally it's all about you going straight in for the Aegis, but we have seen combos where you were just trying to play through early Resurrect. You go in deep for a kill, YOLO a little bit, sacrifice, trade kills, and then go for the Resurrect. There was a style that was even in HGC for a short period of time, a bit of a thing. But now we got level 7 talents early on for the Hardos, and let's see what they can do with that. It's a huge advantage for the first objective. I mean, Brightwing is trying to get the experience back at the bottom of the map, but that's gonna take some time, and while all of this happens, the Hardos are taking one minion stack after another and get an easy first objective. No problem for them at all. So that's 3 kills to 0. That's an objective locked in. Just as the level 7 finally comes through. It's a bit of a problem. It's not boding well for the top 4. Let's just put it like that. Can't even bait over the wall anymore. And why? Because there is no wall anymore. They already took it down. So now they can easily take that as well, as they're starting to jump in for it. Yep. Easy peasy. That fort is gone. Absolutely gone. Psst. Gets frosted, and that is that. Can you even get a kill with it? They're looking for Wilkie, but they can't find him. Stojo in the back already. Yeah. I mean, when we're coming to Kalthas, he goes straight in for the burned flesh now. Well, let's see what else they can do. Yeah, even that slide didn't really do a lot. The whip doesn't connect. Yazu. I gotta say, that's the second whip in a row that he's now missing. My friend. I think he needs to go down into the basement again and practice a little bit. That's not looking good over here. The customer is not satisfied. ETC got stunned out, but they get Sonya at the top. Sonya gets eliminated. That was a bit more action that she was looking for. So Kalthas is able to get the kill in. Ashalanore. Salami. Bot side. 3 kills to 1. Level ahead. 4 at the top eliminated. Bot lane is open. Even with the kill against Sonya, the Hardos are just rotating around them and crushing them where they find them. It's kind of nasty. Camp is taken up at the top. But that's going to be an early level 10. And now that they take the camp down here, once that they hit level 10, they should be able to go in for that too. Same time, Nick went a little bit too deep. I mean, he was thinking, hey guys, 1v4, easy. I win those every day in Storm League. And then he got reminded that this isn't Storm League. So, yeah, kind of got to be careful with that. But, as I said, level 10 is in, and there we go. Sonya with a leap and the Aegis right after that. Yeah, they're playing without a tank. They play the triple frontline, so to say, just relying on melee assassins, bruisers and stuff. And now they have also leap on Sonya, so they're going full ham. I mean, a bit of this, of course, also simply because they have a 2-0 lead already. But off we go. Fight at the bottom of the map. The invade. Can they steal the camp? Nice! The Polish team comes in, steals the camp away. Nice job. They let the Hardos do all the hard work, and then they come in on the last second and steal the camp. The problem is that they lose 2 of their heroes in the process. Malthael goes down, and so does Kalthas. Bad news for them, because despite the fact that the camp was taken, this is going to be another push through the middle now that the camp is taken there as well. So yeah, that is kind of crazy. Right, so hits are coming in. That's going to be the fountain, or at least the end of it. 5 kills to 2. What's the damage actually looking like? What do we have here? 15,000 for Tychus. Why is he riding a horse, by the way? That poor horsey. I mean, you got a Marine with a full-on armor and that big-ass gun sitting on top of you. That horse is... that's a pack mule, seriously. Oh, the mosh pit. No! No one wants to party with ETC. I told him he needs to take a shower. That thing is just, like, honestly, ETC just stinks. I mean, literally. That thing never showers. There's a cow in the first place, so that smell, everybody is keeping a distance. It's also the times, man. It's not only that, but the problem is simply in times of Corona, everybody is so practiced at staying at distance. I mean, the blue team has been socially distancing the entire time. They're staying away from the living bombs and they're staying away from the ETC party. They know that you're not gonna go, that you don't need to go to any of these Corona parties. And Maiev, she's an elf or something, right? So she's probably a couple of 1,000 years old. So that's a high-risk group right there. So, yeah. Good job by the blue team, staying away from that party line. That is nice push too. Azov sniffing that out, but he's still in trouble. And no way. What? They get the kill? No, maybe? Right wing with the save, but Dyla is down. They can't get the counter kill. They're hoping to get it, but they can't. And now we have Tychus trying to at least get Nick, but that's not happening either. Oh my god, these poor lads. pepeMLady, they are so in trouble. 6 kills to 4, they got at least a few more kills in, but they're just getting chased across the map now that we have the next objective up. And Sonya is coming in here at the side too. Has leap ready, but that would have been a bit too deep. Yeah, so it doesn't want to go for that one either. Now, we got the inevitable end in by now. We have... I mean, it's tough. You have 13 versus 13, but you can't make it back onto the objective. Don't have a chance there to make that play, so I don't know. It's tricky, guys. It is tricky, for sure. Top side, Dyla. He is hoping for extra XP down at the bottom of the map, as you can tell. It's just tough. This is going to be a mad push for the bottom keep. Arcane Punisher is going to do some extra work here. We don't have a single stack yet for Malthael either. So that's also a problem. And things are not really looking good for pepeMLady. The Hardos are eager. They are eager to make it to the next round. They don't want to waste any time here. And, yep, they're starting to move in. There's the leap already. And this time, pepeMLady might have gone a little bit too deep. He's immediately attacked and they're trying to get the kill. But there's no last rights for Malthael just yet. Didn't think that was a good opportunity. And he would be right. He needed a bit more damage than that. They're still hoping to get Nick. Maybe now. Aegis is already used. That cooldown's out. Now you got a chance to set the last rights up. But the keep is about to fall. And now 10 minutes into the game, the first keep is eliminated. They're trying to make a play for the will queue. Brightwing, push back in again. And Hardos gets the kill. Big damage coming from the Hardos. They take Malthael down to aspect of dead. 8 kills to 4, nearly level 16. The slide against Maiev. pepeMLady, spin to win. They try to go for the core. A little bit too much. Yeah, Nick not socially distancing as the living bomb comes out, and that's the end of him. But the core is also falling. The shield is already gone, and they're just pew-pewing it down now. There's only 2 defenders. We got Tychus and we got Khaldor, and Tychus just had to Hearthstone back because he didn't have any hit points. And now we have the core down to 50 HP. Another leap, and that's the end of pepeMLady. 31% on the core, and they gotta fall back. They went as deep as they probably could here. But yeah, it was not enough to end the game. 29%, Yasuo with a whip. But apparently he forgot a safe word, so that is more damage than he could handle. And down goes Oriel. Okay. So far, so good for pepeMLady. I mean, in the sense that they saved it, right? The problem is that it just feels like the Hardos are playing with them at this point. That the Hardos just said, whatever, let's do as much damage as we can. This is our game one way or another, so no problems. The only ones that haven't died in this game, by the way, are Junkrat and Tychus. So everybody else has been eliminated. Now, pepeMLady is trying to do the best that they can here. Obviously, they are still hoping to claw their way back into this one. And the best tool that they can use here is that slight advantage that they now have in terms of map control and presence on the map to steal those camps away, which is exactly what they're doing. That also leads to a 16 versus 16 on the talent. Sonya jumps in. Dyla is still alive, and pepeMLady is dead again. pepeMLady goes down, and they get the follow-up kill against Nick. Yeah, you gotta be a little bit careful. I mean, again, you can be very, very far ahead, but if you don't take it seriously and play disciplined until the end, then there is a chance that your opponent is going to get enough momentum to snowball the game a bit against you. But there's a great whip and a riptire to the face. Khaldor is down. Now, honestly, a huge problem for Khaldor is that he hasn't done a great job on his level 1. That's a big problem. We are now 12.5 minutes into the game. We're on level 17, and Khaldor still hasn't completed his level 1 talent, which of course means that he doesn't have a notable shield that he can use in a situation like this. And that's a huge issue. I mean, normally when you're playing Khaldor, you want to be done around level 10 so that your opponent doesn't have an opportunity to use heroic abilities against you without you having the shield as a panic button. And him sitting at 14 after 13 minutes? That's an issue. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So he really needs to step it up here and complete the quest as quickly as he can. But he's having some trouble here. Part of the problem is obviously that he was just like that for the last minute or so. Early commitment here to Odin again, not even waiting for the 20 stacks. They want this objective. This is the best fight that they're gonna get. Even talents. But Khaldor, he came, he saw, and he died again. ETC partied, was trying to block the path, allow Khaldor to move through and lock everybody out. That didn't work, and they are just jumping on the will queue. Oh, this is falling apart quickly. Yeah, the cage is down as Nick survives, but it's a 5 versus 4 now. They're making the play for Tychus, and Tychus is dead. Tychus down. Camps at the top, they're going for Arconis. Malthael is eliminated too. The Fruit Fly and ETC, the only one surviving here, and the question is more so for how long. Will Q, no fucks given, just Hearthstone's back. I mean, why would you run if you can just press the B button? Easy for him. Brightwing survives as well, and now we got the push straight to the mid lane. I don't really know why they bother and why they don't just simply go for the core. But yeah, in this case at least, it seems like Nick might go down. Oriel with the last second save could stun into the wall, but that wasn't enough either. Level 20 talents will be ready in a jiffy, and now we have another jump over the wall, potentially triggered in a second. Still some damage up at the top. There's the mosh pit. This time it hits 2, and that's the opportunity to maybe get a counter kill. ETC dies, nobody else. It's, I feel a little bit sorry for them. That mosh pit was at least nice. The crater upgrade and the double kill. Okay. Crater upgrade for Sonya. They get a double kill out of it. ETC, Khaldor, and Tigers are down. Malthael is dead too. This is the end of the game. This is the end of the series as they are coming in for the kill. pepeMLady, they get crushed by the Hardos as they move on to the next round of the tournament. A 3-0 victory for the team in blue. Nicely done. GG. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.